name's Cameron Carlson with AnimeLocation.tv. I'm here at Canterlot Gardens with Miss Gray DeLisle.
DeLisle, yes, you did it right.
Okay. How have you been enjoying your time here at Canterlot Gardens?
I'm having a blast. All the fans are so sweet, and I haven't had one bad experience. Yeah.
Okay. And can you share with us some of your most recent projects that you're currently working on?
I'm doing a really cool show for George Lucas called Detours. It's a Star Wars kind of cool, like CGI animation, and I can't talk too much about it, but it's really exciting, and I've been wanting to talk about it forever because I've been working on it for over a year. So, yeah, that's a good new thing. Yeah, and I'm doing the new DC Injustice. I'm playing Catwoman. I played Catwoman in Arkham City, but I'm doing the Injustice game too, which I'm excited about that too.
Cool. And now you first got introduced to voice acting because you were a stand-up comedian and an improv. And can you share with us your experience of being a stand-up comedian and then how that affected you today?
Well, if you follow me on Twitter, at Gray DeLisle, most of it's just jokes. I actually didn't do a good job of promoting this con. People that follow me and who I DM with, like one guy was like walking past the table, was like, Gray? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, why didn't you say you were going to be here? And I was like, oh, I was too busy telling stupid jokes. But so that kind of, you can see it peppered throughout my social media presence. But I did impressions and stuff in my stand-up act, and I was better at the impressions than I was at the stand-up, so I decided to go with my strengths. So, yeah.
Okay, and are there any stand-up comics on the circuit today that you're still, really fond of and, keep in contact with?
Well, there's some that I'm fond of that I don't keep in contact with because I'm just a fan of them. I love Louis C.K. Yeah. That show is brilliant. Mark Maron follows me on Twitter, just on a comic level, not in a he doesn't really know who I am. I have another thing where I just tell jokes. But I love Kathy Griffin. I know some people can't stand her, but I just love her. I know sometimes she can be mean-spirited, but I don't know. I love gossip. I love to gossip. But I do sketch comedy with Janet Varney, who plays Cora on The Legend of Korra. Oh. She's actually an incredible comedian. She's on that Burning Love. Have you ever seen that? It's like a fake Bachelor show on it's only on Yahoo, and she plays one of the Bachelorettes, and she's hilarious. So comedy's really more her thing than cartoons. Cora's really the only cartoon she does. So it's kind of funny that people don't know about her whole comedy side. A lot of us cartoon girls are pretty funny.
Okay. And now you're also a musician. Can you tell us more about the musical aspect of your career? Like, do you sing, guitar, piano, something like that?
I sing and write and play the auto harp, which is like a mountain instrument. It's funny because a couple people came up with CDs. They didn't even care about the cartoon. This one guy came. He's not even a cartoon fan. He had my CD, and he's like, this, home record got me through college, and could you sign this other record? And I was thinking, this is so weird. Because when I used to do music, people couldn't believe what my other job was. Yeah. Like, I would be on tour, and they're like, what do you do during the week? And I'm like, well, I make voices for cartoons. And they're like, no, you do not. And then I'd be in the booth, and somebody would go, hey, I saw a record. That's not you, right? And I'm like, no, that's me. And it's just because the music's kind of really sad and serious, and then the cartoons are so goofy and weird that they don't really, they don't, I don't know, it's weird.
Okay, and now you've done a lot of voice acting for animation, and you've taken on a number of different directions from Scooby-Doo to Powerpuff Girls, but you also speak a sizable amount of Japanese on Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi. How did you come about learning to speak the language for the program?
Well, I have to say, I can't just go to Japan and just talk to a bunch of people, but they when they were doing that show, they really tried to cast a Japanese actress for the role. They actually cast it twice with a Japanese actress, and it just didn't quite work. And so I was just like a last minute replacement, and they said, can you phonetically learn Japanese? And I was like, well, I am a musician, so I feel like musically I could probably pick it up. And even people that were really Japanese but didn't speak it, they couldn't. I think it takes a musician's ear to get all those little inflections, and so the Japanese coach was like, "It's amazing." So yeah, but so I don't really speak Japanese, just hanging out. But I can definitely. I learned all my lines phonetically, so yeah.
Okay, now there's something in this one that I love that was included is you also starred in a number of video game roles portraying characters in Mass Effect and StarCraft 2, among other titles. What differences have you noticed in voice acting for video games versus voice acting in animation or in front of a camera? Because I played StarCraft 2 and loved it. I just don't know your characters.
Nova, yeah.
Oh my, wow.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, well, I didn't do a ton of on-camera, but I feel like video games is the closest as you're going to get to on-camera, except for Azula. I did a lot of real as realistic of acting as am I talking right? As realistic of acting as anyway, I feel like the realism is just a lot more heightened in video games because you just want it to be you want that world to be just as real as you can for those people that are kind of using it as an escape and having fun. So you'll go from doing like Vicky, oh twerp, and then you have to just really bring it down and just do anyway. When I did Diablo 3, I played the female wizard in Diablo 3, okay. And it was so quiet and intimate and take after take, and just really thinking it out and really thinking about motivation. And whereas if you do something that's just a funny, goofy cartoon, you're just like, I'm having fun. It's just a big explosion of energy. So, yeah.
Okay, well that makes playing the game a little more fun. I hope to see Nova again. Did you have any final words for your fans out there that you want them to know about?
I just wanted to thank the Bronies for, just completely embracing me at this convention because I'm not really a pony. I spoofed it on Mad. I played Pinkie Pie on Mad, but that's like as close to ponydom as I actually get. But they were just so sweet and they made me feel so welcome. And several of them actually ponified ponified Azula and Vicky and Aya from the Green Lantern series and Breakfast Princess from Adventure Time. And then they made like a gray pony and I put it on the middle and I just felt really welcome and I feel like a pony even though I'm really not.
Okay, and is there any way fans can keep up with you on the internet, like Twitter, Facebook, all that type of jazz?
On Tumblr, I'm at Grey DeLisle on Twitter, and on Facebook, I'm Grey DeLisle VA. So, and if you follow me on Twitter, I'll try to follow you back. So, and we can DM.
One last thing, is there any upcoming projects you can talk about this time? Because we know a lot of people can't, so if there's anything you want to.
I'm going to be in the new Legend of Korra. I have a small, interesting role in the new Legend of Korra. It hasn't aired yet, and I can say that, but I can't tell you what it is. Keep watching Tough Puppy, too, on the Butch Hartman series on Nickelodeon, because we've made a ton more Tough Puppies, and they're hilarious. They haven't aired yet, but I'm really excited for when those come back. So, yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming and talking with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.